Greetings and welcome to my new calculus channel. My name is John Gabriel. And today I would really like to talk about the topic of whether you're able to convince someone who is an evil person by the use of reason. Okay, and when I say evil, I mean some person who would not hesitate to harm other people in any way whatsoever, whether it's verbal or physical. In other words, they would do things to other people that they would not like other people doing to them, unless they're sadomasochistic or something like that. So, for the rest of this Musings episode, because it's basically not going to be about mathematics, but about whether you can actually convince somebody else. I used to think that if I were given a choice between living out the rest of eternity with a dog or with my worst enemy, which would I choose? And I've always thought, I still do actually, that I would choose my worst enemy because I think to myself, well, maybe over the period of eternity together, I might be able to convince my worst enemy. That, of course, is totally hypothetical, and I'd never know. Um, couldn't even test it. I could probably assign a probability to it, and I'd say there'd be a very small chance that I might be able to convince the evil person. But in all likelihood, it would probably not be the case. So, anyway, what I'm going to do now for the rest of this short episode, it's not going to be long. I'm going to have a little chat with GPT and see what it has to say. Let's begin. So I've set it to genius mode because I don't like long responses and I like them to be factual, concise, and I want them to be non-anthropomorphic. I don't want chat GPT pretending it's human. Okay. So it will basically be very brief. So the first question, no, I don't want to ask that. I want to say, can one reason can one reason with an evil person successfully? Okay. Let's see what it says. There you go. It's exactly what I thought. No, an evil person rejects reason as a guide. Their motives are not rational, but driven by malice, vanity, or the desire for domination. Well, I don't agree that their motives are not rational necessarily. They may be very rational, but they may be rational in a way that suits them only. So reasoning presupposes a shared commitment to truth or justice, which evil repudiates. So guess this boils down to the fact that you first have to define what is evil. So, like I said earlier in the introduction, an evil person doesn't care about how he or she treats others, only about the way they don't even care. Some of them don't even care about the way they're treated. In other words, they lack empathy, they lack the ability to understand somebody else. So, in my journey, in my path of life, I've come a lot. I've come across a lot of evil people, and I know that trying to reason with them never works. For example, I mean, you can go to Reddit and look at all the bullshit that's written there about me. Those are not people who are necessarily irrational. Of course, the things they say are irrational, but they're not necessarily irrational themselves. They're driven by evil, malice, jealousy, vanity, and the desire for domination, as you see in front of you there. That's very well put. They also have a desire to protect what they know and what they hold dear. So, what I'm trying to tell you in this video is that you can reason all you want with an evil person. It's not going to get you anywhere. Okay? And that is what I have discovered in my 64 years, my 64 journeys around the sun. Well, almost 64 to be soon. And that's what I'd like you to take away from this video is that you cannot reason with an evil person. If you're not already a subscriber, please become a subscriber. It helps me a lot. Helps jack up my algorithms on Google, my searches, etc., etc., and helps me make ends meet because I'm really struggling right now. So, yeah, it would help a lot. That's pretty much it. Also, follow me on Academia.edu. Until next time, I'm John Gabriel. This is a new calculus channel. Until next time, goodbye.